Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 9 of the anime series Kamisama no Inai Nichiyoubi. And this was an interesting episode in that I felt like it was on a sort of teeter-totter, going back and forth between really awesome, really intriguing, and really kind of sort of just typical mundane anime trope stuff. We're picking up with Ai and Yuri, and of course Elise and Dee, the ghost girl, and little baby Silica continuing their journey. Now they've decided to focus their sights on figuring out what happened to Scar, trying to track her down. We have a little footnote aside that tells us that all the rest of the kids from the academy, that all escaped in the previous episode. They were left with the girl Tanya's family for the time being until they decide what they want to do with their lives. And I was happy that we had a little bit of a follow-up and kind of glad to see that chapter be done as we move forward, And as they're using little baby Silica, who seems to have a link with Scar to kind of gauge which direction she's gone in and everything, we have another little aside that has to do with Alice's birthday and celebrating that. And I kind of felt like, that was what I, described basically as the mundane, typical anime trope stuff, because I'm already suspicious that he could become a villain down the line, somebody that I may have to stop. Even though she basically unabashedly agrees with him in the pre-credits sequence about his goal of destroying the world and thus saving it, she's not really thinking through what that means, what the ramifications of that are, or the implications of that are. She just hears the bottom line, oh, well, if it's saving the world, that's my goal. Let's do it, And so I have to wonder if at some point their sort of goals are going to clash and collide. And by having this little celebratory birthday bash, segment, I kind of felt like it was forced. They were trying to put across that point that, oh, they're becoming like a family, and wow, won't that be such a twist when down the line he becomes a bad guy and I has to stop him? Won't that be heartbreaking? I may be way off on that. I may be dead on. Time will tell. But once they get back to searching for Scar, it gets so interesting when they find this valley. It's like a wasteland for thousands of miles in between, mountainous regions and stuff like that. This road goes on, and they get to a point where there's tons of fog, and there's these giant, beautiful crystals, outcroppings from the ground, lightning storms overhead, rain down thunderous lightning that explodes the ground, and out from these explosions come gravekeepers. This is, adding to that mythology of the series, God turning his back on the world, people being semi-immortal in that they can die, but they can still live while they're dead and everything. And then you have gravekeepers who are born in this very mystical, magical way. It's just strange and intriguing. And they can be, essentially when they're born, they can be born in the thousands and they all have the same physical appearance. They're all the same being, but just many carbon copies of them. So after they have sort of these strange visions in this area, and you have the little ghost girl Dee taking off, she's very uncomfortable with it. Finally they find Scar, and you have Yuri essentially snapping her back to reality because she's been very skittish and she's scared. She's returned to her birthplace because I guess that's the only place she feels semblance and safety, because she's feeling emotions and she's feeling a connection to the baby like a mother should. And she feels irregular, and Yuri tells her, you're not behaving like a gravekeeper anymore. And I have to wonder, because she suddenly snaps out of it and becomes much more accepting to his offer to take care of her and taking care of little baby Silica, if she's transformed into the kind of woman Ai's mother was, that she might actually be able to have a relationship like a human being with Yuri and Silica. I don't know. It's just really intriguing at that point because, of course, they're going to continue on their journey. We're going to delve deeper into Alice's sort of history as per the sort of, preview for the upcoming episode. And so while this episode kind of went back and forth between really awesome and really kind of meh, it still has me intrigued, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm just really curious. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of the episode, if you've seen it. If you're still watching this series, let me know down below. And otherwise, that'll be it for me. And I'll catch you later. Peace.